I have a friend who's written 2 million lines of code in the past year,
Uh-huh.
generated 2 million lines of code, and never wrote a single line himself.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the latest Agile Boston podcast. My name is Pusha Pawa, and I am here today with the founder of Agile Boston, Dan Mezick. Welcome, Dan.
Hi, Pooja. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. All right, so today we're here. We're going to get right into it, talking about the latest topic, artificial intelligence jumpstart. All right, Dan, why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah. Like everyone else, I'm looking for ways to get started with agentic AI. It's been an interesting journey, and part of what my talk will be about will be some of the tools that I've encountered along the way, some of the tricks and traps along the way, and all of that, all in pursuit of being more productive using agents.
Awesome. So
Yeah.
why don't you tell us a little bit, give us some background. How did you actually come up with the concept to begin with?
Well, when you go beyond using AI like a search engine, and
Mhm.
you want to leverage agents, there's a whole lot of guidance and there's no guidance. So,
Mhm.
like, where do you start? Where's the roadmap for this, right?
Yeah.
So this is where I came up with, this terminology is a little confusing. Where does it all fit? And in what categories? What is how do I make sense of this? And then from there, like what platforms should I be using to get started? And I've heard a lot about how like it's a nightmare to install OpenClaw locally and then, and all this kind of stuff. Okay, so what can I do? And is OpenClaw the thing and all that kind of stuff. So that's the origin of this talk.
Yeah, and I really think it's going to be super beneficial to anybody who's, afraid to take that next step, right? To say, "Oh my God, there's so many things out there, it's overwhelming." So I really see the benefit of having this little guidebook to really help us. So thank you. I'm excited to see a little bit more about it. But I guess tell us, how have you been using this in like your daily work, whether it's in your personal life or on the job?
Yeah, so in my personal work, in professional work, I've been using AI primarily to sidestep search engines and get right to the meat of the matter, and also generating code, and also coming up with strategies and ideas by like uploading certain files and saying, "Give me this, write it in this voice." Give me strategy tips about specific things I'm looking to do and all that kind of stuff. So that's how I use it today. And then I'm moving towards working with the agents, and I've got a story to tell about, my journey along the way there.
And Dan, who can use this little jumpstart kit that you're making together? Is it more along the beginners or intermediate, advanced? Who can jump into this?
I would say beginners to intermediates will do fine. Like what I'm going to do is kind of sketch out like where things fit, like in what categories. Like, is this an agent? Is this an agent platform? Is this a skill that you can buy and install in your agent? What is this? And then, what's the best way to start?
Okay.
This kind of thing. So that's, anyone from the intermediate level or lower is going to get a lot out of this and be able to do something right away with agentic AI.
Okay, great. And then, so, has anybody else given you input into this, or are you the sole creator of this wonderful toolkit that we're going to be getting in?
Well, actually, there's a couple of friends that are ahead of me on this. One of them, code generation is an obvious, powerful and popular use case, right?
Mhm.
I have a friend who's written 2 million lines of code in the past year,
Uh-huh.
generated 2 million lines of code, and never wrote a single line himself.
Wow, that's amazing. 2
So,
million lines of code.
million
Okay.
lines, yeah. So there's that, and then the other friend, Eric Blazinski, who is coming in July, and we have a short on the YouTube channel about him.
Mhm.
I picked up quite a few things from him as well because he's done a couple of things with agents. He's built some apps, he's built some websites, he's done some different things with it. He's installed OpenClaw on his own personal machine and so on.
Okay. Okay.
If you're going to come to my talk, it's going to be because you are having like maybe a slow steps or even some missteps in execution,
Mhm.
right? So we're looking to make people more productive in getting started. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is I'm going to touch on the security risks of using these agents, right? So when I do the main talk, I'm going to talk about that. And there's a certain file called the skills file, and you can install skills that you can purchase from elsewhere or download from elsewhere. And a lot of those have they have malware in them.
Mhm.
They have unprintable characters. You can't even see the characters, but the your agent can read those characters and do terrible things with the authority that you grant it. Right?
Yeah.
So, but I'm going to touch on that a little bit too, as there's a good news, bad news story with this as we go along. So that those are two things right there.
Great. Well, that sounds super exciting. So again, as the Agile Boston community knows, we have our monthly meetups every fourth Wednesday of the month. And thank you, Dan, so much for being here today and giving us your time and telling us a little bit more about your upcoming talk. We really look forward to it. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel, give us a big like, and we look forward to seeing you at our next monthly meetup.